company, and he is one of the best top performers in the company for the last 2 years. When I asked him what is that one story that moved him, he said that is one story from his reporting manager, where his reporting manager has told him that the run-of-the-mill work, the day-to-day job, anyone can do. You tell that you need to do this. If you do this, that is something that anyone can do. But his manager has told him a story about taking up a pet project which is close to your heart and work on that. That could be any, so he took up the reporting and dashboards project, and he developed a shiny, nice dashboard for his company outside of what he is asked to do. So the manager will ask you to do something, you get the normal rating. But when you do something more, so that is a story that Sateesh shared with me, which I can connect really well because I know what you are talking about. With that brief intro, Sateesh, may I request you to evaluate Toastmaster Chelakana.
Thank you so much, Ashok. Good morning once again, Meraki and guests. I'll start with the good things I like you most in the speech CK. Every good speech or story has many things, what Ashok will cover later. I go by the 5 rules by picture about how a story can be, because today he named a story. The first one, it should be a universal story. It's a simple, what our timer said, it's a mom-dad story. Always happen, universal, everybody can relate it. Second one is clear structure and a purpose. It's a very simple narratives, simple step-by-step approach. Post-school, what should I take up? Very simple, clear structure and purpose. The third one is the character we need to root for. There is only 2 characters predominantly came in, daughter and the father. Third one is appeal to the deepest emotion of the audience or the listeners. So for me, my son is writing his 10th board. I could relate it in a year or 2, I'll have this argument at home. So connecting to the audience, deeper emotion. The final one is simple and focused. It is not about multiple analysis of a story or an education or a session. It's more about medical or non-medical. This is a simple thing. I love the most about the all 5 greater things you had in your speech CK, which is the 5 rules by Pixar for a better story. When it comes to the area where you can improve upon, the manual also suggested about few things which has to be observed as an evaluator. If I have to relate it with your speech objectives, you clearly went for an outcome of a compromise outcome, and also you used a negotiation strategy called compromise, and you had all those elements of how a negotiation can conclude. Number 1, the improvement area could be audience awareness or bring audience into your speech. It's very easy. There are students over there, you could have simply asked, have you ever felt this dilemma of choosing something X, Y? This could have made the audience to reflect upon, come with you, they will travel more closer rather than sitting as an audience, number 1. Number 2, gesture. This I always love from the example with Karthik said from the VIT. The gestures are always above the elbow and away from your body. You get plenty of energy to bring in rather than keeping with yourself. This can be tried out very easily. The third one is tying up the loose ends. You started with some rhyme, though it was not on a musical sense, but you could have connected your opening with your ending with a relation to it. Because the whole story of opening, body and conclusion has a greater relevance. How we see the all 9 yards of a sari has all the design which goes throughout the flow. The same way the opening, body and closure will have a great connection. So you always have this connection tying up the loose ends. Overall about this 5 rules of a good storytelling by a Pixar, you implement on this gesture, awareness of the audience, and finally tying up the loose ends. I'm sure you have a great negotiation coming up. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Sateesh. All examples on Sari and all that tells he is from Europe. Thank you so much.